Okay, so hi, this is Fox128 and I'm gonna show you a game of chess I played on leeches.org. The game was played with 15 minutes each and my opponent was actually rated above me, so... But in this game, black gains kind of a nice advantage in the early mid-game or opening. So here the best move is to just attack the queen. Also knight f6 is a good move. But yeah, I want to be aggressive. I want to develop this tempo. And okay, so the queen moves back here. And now just knight f6. So I mean it's just a transition. And here my opponent played h3. Probably to prevent me from playing g4. And in some variations, if I already have some attacking piece on f2, this might be a big threat. So bit of a prophylactic move, but it's not really good. He should just develop some normal moves like knight f3 or develop his bishop to maybe d3 or something. But okay, anyway, he played h3 and here now I played b6. And in this variation, sometimes you want to uh, open the center with d5 or d6, but in this case this would d5 is actually a blunder because he can take here with check and he wins the knight. So d5 is obviously not playable. Um, well, okay, I'm not losing the knight, but I have to move back, and well, this is not really good for black. And I mean d6 is playable, but black has an advantage here. By playing b6, I'm not only preparing to fianchetto my bishop to b7. What this really does is there is now a threat of me actually playing bishop c5. So okay, he allows me to play bishop c5, attacking my knight, but I mean I don't care. Why should I? So bishop c5 attacking the queen and developing with tempo, so really nice. And the queen goes to d3, it's probably the best move. Maybe queen f4 is also good. Yeah, one of those. And here now I could castle. I could also play something like knight b4, again attacking the queen and also looking at this juicy c2 pawn for a fork. Instead, and this is also fine, I played bishop b7, so just a developing move, and now my pieces are basically fully developed. Um, and okay, and here my opponent played a really strange move. Instead of, he should have just played knight c3, I guess, something like that. Just develop. Instead, he took the knight on c6, so he gives up his right square bishop. I mean, okay, in this position it's not doing too much, but what this really does is open. I mean, I take back with the bishop, obviously, and now I have the knight is not blocking my attack. So now I'm also on this pawn right away. So this is really bad for my opponent, and he probably should play something like e5 here. So just getting out of the line of attack, and if I take here, then that's, yes. I mean it's still good for black, but that's just a pawn. And now he's attacking my knight and the bishop. So so probably we could move to e4, I guess, and then the queen could go to e2, but there is just no way of saving. Now he's attacking my my bishop again, and also the knight. So, and if I move my knight, he's the defender of the bishop, so I'm losing a piece, and I mean, maybe taking is actually not the best move here. Yeah, it's actually a mistake, because after queen f6, he cannot take, because then I pin his queen with rook e1, e8. So this is actually immune from capturing. So that's interesting, but only after he takes, so yeah. Yeah, it's actually a very complicated position. I mean, he could probably develop his knight, and I mean, I just want to show you this, because I personally find this quite interesting. Then we pin the knight so that he can still not take the bishop, and then the computer is actually suggesting king f1, so now this threat of taking the bishop is really renewed. But now, you know, we could just take the knight, and then something like this, and rook here, and then there is really not too much. He's still, I mean, now he can take here, but this is still good for black. Even though we are a piece down for the moment, his best move here is queen d2, and after rook e6, let's say f3. I mean, I'm going really deep into this position now, because I just want to show you that even though black is down a piece here, but of course white is completely open, and his pawn structure is completely crumbled, and he's completely underdeveloped. And now just rook d6, attacking the queen, and then, I mean, queen e1, and now rook e8, and I mean, so there is, I don't want to go further now, so I mean, there is really a shitload of stuff black can throw at white's position after he plays e5, which still is the best move. So I mean, white goes up a piece, basically. So instead he played f3, which is an inaccuracy again. I would almost go as far as saying that this is a mistake, because in the long run he was already down minus 1.5, and now he's down minus 2.2, so it's not a big difference, but at this stage he can just not afford to play any inaccurate moves. And so here finally, yeah, now I could play d5, but here I just castled. So now I'm completely safe, and I really love my position as black here. I mean, I have very active bishops, and they cannot be kicked easily. I have developed my knight, and this rook is ready to come to e8. d5 is ready to be played to open the position. He cannot castle anytime soon, because not only is this knight here, which by the way he plays knight e2 now, but also this bishop is preventing him from castling. So now I played d5, and he really shouldn't take, he really shouldn't open the position, because his king is a really big target in the center, and I mean, he cannot do too much, but probably e5 is his best shot in this position, and we are winning this pawn, but okay, I mean f4, and then, but then I mean there is this check, and so I mean he's still losing, but taking is just, it's just wrong in more ways than going e5. But okay, my opponent took, and yeah, now I mean this is just completely losing. After knight takes, now there is all sorts of discovered attacks on the queen. He still cannot castle. Rook e8 will be really strong, and he really should play something like knight c3, so develop. Instead, I mean, okay, somehow I'm always showing kind of stupid games, I'm not sure why, but my opponent again played a really well. This move is just doing nothing. I mean, I was never planning to go knight b4 in this position. I mean, okay, I mean in some variations there might be a knight b4, but right now there is just so many threats that are bigger than knight b4 that he should really just develop and try to castle probably queenside as soon as possible or something like that. That's his best shot. But okay, well, now I get to play rook e8, and now this knight is in the pin. Yeah, everything is just falling apart. I mean, at this point, the computer is suggesting h4, so maybe, you know, counter-attacking against my king or something. It's just completely lost. I mean, it's a -7. And here my opponent played an even bigger blunder. So he wanted to basically unpin his knight, but I mean, he played king d1. But I mean, you can already see this looks wrong in so many ways. And there is, I mean, too many good moves already. And I found the very best move. And if you can find it, I mean, pause the video and try to find it. There is a super sick and nice winning move, which basically, yeah. So I'm gonna show it to you now. It's bishop b5, and I played it, and it's actually the best move. I'm really glad I found it. So this is attacking the queen, obviously. It's also, if the queen moves anywhere, it's also attacking. It's also x-raying the knight, which is already attacked by the rook, which then I can take with check and leads to complete disaster. And lastly, this bishop, it's not protected, right? But if he takes, then I mean I could actually just win back the queen if I wanted to, but there is actually a mate in 2 now. It starts with knight c3, and like I said, this is a double check, so the king has to move. So what I'm saying is this bishop is completely immune from taking, because now I can just take the queen if I wanted to. But there is actually a mate after king e1. I mean, queen to d1 is mate, because the bishop is also covering the flight square on f2. So yeah, this bishop is immune from capture. So his best move here would be something like knight f4, but then, you know, we just take the queen and it's completely over. And this is his best move. Let's see. His second best move would be something like bishop g5, so counter-attacking my queen. Then again, we just, I mean, we don't really have to. We can just grab the bishop, actually. I mean, this is not even protected, and then there is still the same threat. I mean, now if it takes, okay, now there is not this double check, but rook ad1 is just completely winning again. And finally, I mean, I don't even have to take here. I could just trade queens, and after we trade, there is this check, and I mean he's just losing 2 pieces. So, and he's probably going to get mated in this variation too. And finally, knight f4, bishop g5. Yeah, h4 is like the third and the best move. So just ignoring all of this. Again, just losing the queen, and yeah, it's gonna be over very soon. My opponent didn't play any of these moves. He played, I guess it's an intuitive move. Like he wants to stay close to the defense of his king, but he doesn't want to lose his queen. But this now actually leads to a mate in 3. It starts with taking the knight, and now it doesn't matter if queen takes, it's a mate in 2, and if king e1, it's a mate in 2, and if you want you can try to find it on your own. My opponent played queen to e1, so I'm gonna show the other variation first. If queen to e2, then knight to c3, again this double check, and also a fork on the queen. But we are actually not, well, we are actually going to take the queen. Or are we? No, we are not. We are giving this mate. This is a really cute mate, because the queen is pinned, she cannot take the queen because this rook is here, and the king still cannot run away because of this bishop. So that's one variation. So we don't even have to take the queen. And the other variation which was played in the game was king e1. Now we have this check, and I mean it's here my opponent resigned. His only move less is g3, and then this is mate. So yeah, I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.